You're watching Color 10 News at 10 in high definition.
A loss of funding could lead to less fun at Table Rock Lake. Good evening, everybody. I'm David Oliver. Tonight, new at 10. Today, the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers announced that it can no longer allow associations that it works with to keep user fees. Now, this means there will not be as many resources now to service and maintain facilities at the lake. Places like Moonshine Beach and campgrounds at Indian Point, Cape Fair and Ants Creek, Baxter, Campbell Point, Mill Creek, and Old Highway 86. The Corps is looking at ways now to keep the facilities open through the end of the month, while the long-term futures are unknown tonight. This year appears to be the worst now for measles nationally in more than a decade. That's according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Color 10's Melissa Stern found out health officials say people who refuse to vaccinate their children are behind the increasing number of outbreaks.
According to the CDC, there were 159 cases of measles in the United States since January 1st. If the trend continues, this will be the worst year since 1996. The CDC also says the majority of reported measles cases happened within groups of people who don't vaccinate their children for philosophical reasons.
If there were to be an outbreak here in town that we would hear about, then we would keep our children at home.
Crystal Listerman has 4 children. Her firstborn is vaccinated, but after doing research online, she chose not to get the rest vaccinated for religious reasons.
The MMR vaccine has the rubella component of it cultured on aborted fetal cells of humans. They had used an aborted fetus that was killed in the 60s or 70s, so they aren't killing any new babies, but we had decided that we didn't want to use any vaccines that were cultured on the aborted fetal cells.
Color 10 could not verify from local doctors whether or not specific vaccines use aborted fetal cells. A quick search on the internet reveals research, opinion, and passionate debate from a variety of groups on both sides of the issue.
We are seeing some folks who do have some of this skepticism, and while it's always good to ask questions, I think you need to rely on the evidence, you need to rely on research.
Mike Brothers with the health department says although we're not seeing an outbreak of measles in the Ozarks, health officials want to keep it that way.
Not getting vaccinated means that you are not only putting yourself or your family in danger, but also those around them.
We've been averaging about 60 cases a year, and so seeing 159 cases is concerning.
According to the Centers for Disease Control, 1 to 3 out of every 1,000 children in the United States who get the measles will die from the disease even with the best care.
It's a family choice.
Brothers says the health department has not seen any cases of the measles in this area yet. He believes that shows that people in our area do take vaccination seriously and they consider it safe and important to their health. The health department encourages everyone to get the vaccine.
Melissa, thanks. Measles is a respiratory disease caused by a virus. It's highly contagious and spreads through breathing, coughing, and sneezing. Typically, it causes a serious rash and fever. Now, in the worst cases, measles can lead to pneumonia or even death. So far, no one has died from the measles this year, but 17 people were hospitalized, according to the CDC. Also, the CDC tonight reports that 2 cases of swine flu have been found in people living in Arkansas. It's not clear where in Arkansas these folks live, but the Arkansas Department of Health says they have recovered. Health workers say the virus typically causes only mild illness and is not easily transmitted from person to person. Well, this weekend is your chance for some free dental care. Redeemer Lutheran Church is working with Distinctive Dental Solutions to offer this service. Anyone who is 18 or older can go to the church located at 2852 South Dayton Avenue to register. Registration starts at 7:30 tomorrow morning, and it's first come, first served. From there, the church will shuttle people to the dental office. You can receive one of 3 services there, a cleaning, filling, or an extraction. Now, the event lasts until 2 p.m. tomorrow. Here's a map to show you how to get to Redeemer Lutheran Church. Again, it's on South Dayton Street, just off West Battlefield here in Springfield. In tonight's political coverage here at 10, criticism against Missouri lawmakers that did not vote to overturn the governor's veto of House Bill 253. That's that income tax cut bill. Those lawmakers have now been dubbed the Flimsy 15. Ozark's Lynn Morris is one of those lawmakers. The Republican said that he wrestled with this vote all summer. As a small business owner, Morris stood to gain financially from the tax cuts, but he was troubled by how that bill was written. He feared Governor Jay Nixon would withhold $400 million from the state budget, hurting higher education and other services.
Not just education, but the mental health people, the developmentally disabled, the seniors, Meals on Wheels, just all the different things that he was going to withhold. And I trusted that he was going to keep that word, that he was going to not give that money back, which is, I think, a shame.
Morris tells Color 10 News he supports tax reform. He just wants it in a different bill. And expect new gun legislation when the 2014 General Assembly begins. Missouri Senate Majority Leader Ron Richard voted against overriding Governor Nixon's veto of that bill that nullified federal gun laws. That's because he believes that bill had constitutional problems. Richard says he will have a new gun bill next year that he hopes passes scrutiny. Prosecutors in Rhode Island tonight believe a Springfield man is responsible for a girl's disappearance. Stephen Ardrey is charged tonight with sex trafficking and crossing state lines to engage in illegal sex with a minor. Here's surveillance video here showing that 17-year-old girl who was developmentally delayed walking away from a public library in Massachusetts with a man on Monday. Investigators say they found her with Ardrey on Thursday in Rhode Island. The teen was not hurt. A former bank branch manager admits to stealing more than $300,000 from customers. 33-year-old Jennifer Gunter of Republic pleaded guilty to bank fraud and filing a false tax return. She worked at Guarantee Bank on Highway CC in Nixa. Over a 6-year period, we are told, she repeatedly accessed the bank's accounts and the bank accounts, I should say, of 4 elderly customers. Gunter forged their names on withdrawal slips, then delayed their bank statements from arriving by mail. She'll be sentenced now, coming up at a later time. A Branson attraction for veterans is back open for business tonight. Last month, the Veterans Museum closed temporarily and auctioned off some of its artifacts. Items were sold to satisfy an outstanding loan with a bank in Nebraska. The museum had planned to close, then reopen by October 1st, but many pieces there did not sell at the auction, so it didn't take them too long to rearrange exhibits there for the reopening, so the doors open 3 weeks ahead of schedule. Professional bull riders are hanging on for dear life here in Springfield tonight. The 5th annual PFIWestern.com Invitational is underway this weekend at the JQH Arena. The event lasts through Sunday. The riders with the best times tonight and Saturday will compete for $140,000 in prize money. Lindsay Day is here for Jamie Warner tonight with a look at your Ozarks first forecast for the weekend.
Yes, we have a big change that's actually taken a hold of our area. It's finally feeling like fall out there. And if I told you we have some upper 40s in the forecast, would you believe that? Well, I'll show you where those 40s are coming up in that 7-day forecast.
Ozarks. Tune in Monday morning on Daybreak to find out if you are eligible to try it out.
Martin's Floral and Home Decor has
And now, Color 10 News weather expert Lindsay Day.
Well, it is finally feeling like fall out there. Today, we saw a drop in the temperatures, the humidity, the cloud coverage, and we saw no rain across our area. Check out our high temperatures today. Most of us only made it up into the upper 70s, which is finally below average. For the past 9 days, we continue to see above average temperatures, but today we broke that streak. Temperatures were about 1 to 5 degrees below where they should be for this time of year. But our 24-hour temperature change map shows that we're about 10 degrees cooler right now compared to where we were yesterday at this time. Right now we are sitting in the low 60s across most of the Ozarks, and temperatures are getting a little cooler from here. It's going to be a chilly night actually, with temperatures bottoming out near 50 degrees. Even some upper 40s in store. I'll show you that in a second. Our winds have been coming out of the north, giving us that persistent, cooler and drier air mass locking into place across our region. Notice that our dew point change is pretty significant. Dew points have dropped about 10 up to 15 plus degrees across the region. And it only takes a couple of degrees for a drop in the dew points before you start to feel that drier air out there. Right now we are sitting in the upper 40s to low 50s for those dew point temperatures. So it feels really pleasant out there. Also seeing clear skies up above. We saw a few clouds streaming in earlier today, but those are now fading, and we'll see mostly starry skies out there for tonight. But we are noticing that the cold front that passed through our area is now well to our south, but this is actually the culprit for the cooler and the drier weather that we're currently seeing. Now this high pressure system controlling our weather pattern, keeping the skies clear for the time being. But notice that up above in our water vapor imagery, we do have a little bit of moisture, and we're right on the edge of the moist air and the dry air. So because of that, we will have some clouds in the sky for tomorrow. Not many, but just a couple of high wispy clouds are possible for tomorrow. And then on Sunday, we'll notice a few more clouds build into the picture, and that's what our futurecast shows. We even see some rainfall trying to approach our area by Sunday evening. I think most of us stay dry through the day, although by Sunday evening, we will look to our north for a few small showers to pop into portions of our northern zones. Tonight, 51 degrees. It's cool and crisp out there, and I do think that anywhere north of Springfield tonight will dip into the upper 40s by around sunrise tomorrow morning. It's been a while since we've seen temperatures this chilly. Tomorrow we're going for 78 degrees, feeling like fall once again. Tomorrow will be very similar to the temperatures today, except our temperatures that we start off with will be a little bit cooler tomorrow morning. But notice how we'll gradually warm through the week. So by the end of next work week, it's feeling a little bit more like summer. We'll notice a few rain chances come into play Monday through Thursday. An additional cloud coverage is expected as well. But if you want to enjoy the fall feel, the beautiful weather, tomorrow is going to be another great opportunity to do so before things start to get just a little bit unsettled by Monday.
Feels a little crisp out there tonight, Lindsay.
It does.
All right, thanks. Still to come here at 10 o'clock, learn what life used to be like in the Ozarks, where you can see these steam-powered engines all weekend.
We're the Kick It Big cheerleaders. You're watching First and 10 on Color 10.
This is First and 10 on Color 10 Sports.
trophy on the line here tonight in Lebanon. This one had all the makings of a good rivalry game. It had good atmosphere, some big plays, and some really solid defense.
10 Sports.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to a Friday the 13th edition of First and 10. We've got your high school football highlights, we've got your scores, and not one bit of bad luck. Not at all. There was a battle of unbeatens in Lebanon tonight. The Yellow Jackets hosting Camdenton. Color 10's Nick Carboni is standing by live in Lebanon with more. Nick?
Yeah, that's right, Dan. We had some luck to see a really good game up here in Lebanon tonight with the Highway 5 Traveling Trophy on the line for just the second straight year. And this one had all the trappings of a really good rivalry game. It had great plays, a really great atmosphere, and some solid defense, too. Camdenton owns the trophy after a district championship win over Lebanon last year. Jackets want it back. They got the first one early in 2012. Both 2-0, both ranked. Lebanon scoring first. First drive, Dylan Bradshaw punches it in, 7-0. Then Jackets defense very impressive tonight. Johnny Malone, their big defensive end, first of a couple of big plays for him. That leads to a great play from sophomore quarterback Luke Winfrey up top to Bradshaw, and he hangs on despite a couple of tips. Jeff Shore and the Lakers down 14-0 pretty quick. Camdenton, though, would convert a fourth down. That led to a Matt Ensley touchdown. PAT is no good. It's 14-6. But late second quarter, Kendrick Tiller, sophomore kicker for Lebanon, boots a 27-yarder, 17-6 Jackets at the half. Shore and the Lakers looking for a big play. They finally get it in the third quarter. Josh Martin rumbles 63 yards for the Camdenton touchdown. They go for two and get it on a spectacular play. They actually had to do it twice because of a penalty. 17-14, still Lebanon lead. Camdenton on third down trying to take the lead, but Malone is there again, scoops up the fumble recovery. However, Lebanon's offense couldn't score. Camdenton takes the lead here in the fourth. Ensley again. Lakers up 3. They are very excited. Lebanon with a desperation heave here in the fourth and 28. Martin gets to the quarterback. Ensley gets the pick. And the Lakers are going to hold on. They're bringing that traveling trophy back up Highway 5 to the lake. They win 20-17.
It feels amazing to win in that close game. It was an amazing feeling to beat Lebanon. It was my first time ever playing them. It was just a great feeling overall. We just kept getting each other fired up, yelling, Hayes on 3, getting the team fired up, keeping them going strong, getting off the ball, going hard all the time.
So, Dan, the Lakers quite fired up, as you can see, and they should be. Win over their big rival, Lebanon. They're now 3-0, but they don't have much time to rest. They've got Kickapoo, who also improved to 3-0 at home next week. That should be a good football game. Lebanon, their season's definitely not over. 2-1 at this point. They're going to go to Glendale next week. But for now, for this year, early anyway, that traveling trophy is traveling right back up to the lake. Dan, back to you.
All right, thanks a lot, Nick. And last year, those two played again in the postseason, and the other team that lost the first game won, so we'll see what happens. Also, the Hillcrest Hornets, 1-1 on the season, kicking off the home portion of their schedule tonight at Shoemate Stadium. In town, a Joplin Eagle team that has started the 2013 campaign 2-0 as well. Hillcrest climbed to 8 in this week's Class 4 poll. Joplin, the only Class 6 team in the Ozarks. Hillcrest strikes first, Matt Rush. Near sideline to Cole Skidmore. He turns and gets into the end zone, a 20-yard touchdown. It was 8-0 with a 2-point conversion. And then later in the second quarter, the fake to Juwan Johnson, rush up the middle, 20 yards for a touchdown. Weaves his way through the defense. That makes it 14-0 Hornets. And then later in the second quarter, Hillcrest would cap a late drive with this 5-yard touchdown run by Juwan Johnson, 21-0. Hillcrest is 2-1 with a 41-22 win over the Eagles. Unbeaten Nixa Eagles down in Branson tonight. Pirates trying to bounce back from last week's loss of Bolivar. Nixa's Chase Allen, the quarterback. Little screen pass to Alec Murphy. He takes it and then goes right up the middle of the field through the secondary and takes it to the house. This is a 50-yard touchdown scamper. That makes it 7-0 Eagles. Later, Allen with the pump fake, and then he throws in the end zone for Mason Tyndall. That's a 30-yard touchdown to make it 14-0. It was 28-0 third quarter when Allen would throw to the far sideline, hitting Cody Uber. This makes it 35-0. Nixa goes on to win 49-14. Does Ozark have anything left in the tank? The 2-0 Tigers hosting unbeaten Republic tonight. Last week, Ozark scored 66 points and won by 2. Do they have gas in the tank? Yes, they have gas in the tank. Caleb Essick taking the opening kickoff right down the middle of the field. Breaks past the defenders and takes it to the house. 90-plus yards for a touchdown. That makes it 7-0 Ozark. Republic, though, answers the handoff to James Desjardins. He sprints to the near pylon, a 3-yard touchdown, 7-all. Ozark moves back in front. Essex again, this time from 3 yards out. 14-7 Ozark Tigers, and the Ozark Tigers go to 3-0 with a 49-27 victory. Rogersville Wildcats still looking for their first win of the season, going to Catholic. Fighting Irish lost at Mountain View Liberty last week. 21-0 Rogersville third quarter. Catholic on the move. Jack Jones to Jacob Derogowski over the middle. 46-yard touchdown, 21-7. But Rogersville adds to its lead later in the third. Bailey Jenkins gets the snap, bounces to the outside, scores from 7 yards out to make it 28-7. And then in the fourth quarter, the Wildcats' Jacob Schlesinger would roll to his right, fake the pass, keeps it, and then scores from 14 yards out, 35-7. And Rogersville wins its first game of the season, 41-14. Well, that brings us up to our timeout here on First and 10. On the other side of the break, highlights from Kickapoo and from Stratford and our scoreboard. But first, here's a look at tomorrow's local college kickoffs. We'll be right back.
Here are tonight's winning lottery numbers. Color 10 News will continue in a moment.
Welcome back to First and 10. The Kickapoo Chiefs were back at home and sporting a perfect 2-0 record in town Waynesville. The Tigers still looking for their first win of the season. Kickapoo just outside the top 10 state ranking in Class 5. Chiefs would get on the board early in the first quarter. Anthony Cooper would hit Jamarican Green. This is a 32-yard touchdown pass to make it 7-0 Chiefs. Kickapoo threatening again, but this time Cooper's pass is tipped and picked off by Waynesville's Kevon Shoulders. That would end the threat. It was 10-0 Chiefs when Cooper and Jamarican Green would hook up again, this time 79 yards for a touchdown. That would put the Chiefs up 17-0, and the Kickapoo Chiefs are 3-0 with a 30-point, 36-6 victory. Another battle of unbeatens in Stratford. 5th-ranked Indians in Class 2 against Marionville. Comets moving the ball early, but it is jarred loose, and Stratford's Dalton Taylor is there to recover for the Indians, and the Indians would cash it in. First, the quarterback, Jacob Wade, would keep up the middle, sprints into the secondary, then to the far sideline. This is a 48-yard pickup and a 1st and 10. And then the senior would hand off to Taylor. He would turn the corner on the far side and gallop 41 yards for a touchdown. That would make it 6-0 Stratford with the block PAT, and Stratford is 3-0 with a 36-22 win over the Comets. Let's take a look at our Week 3 First and 10 scoreboard. Lamar shuts out Cassville 48-0. West Plains beats Glendale by a touchdown. Hollister beats Buffalo by a field goal. Fairgroves just slips past Pleasant Hope. Skyline is 3-0 with a big win over Stockton tonight. Ash Grove shuts out Diamond 43-0. Willard takes care of Neosho 36-15. Willard is 3-0. Webb City bounces back after its loss down in Arkansas with a 42-7 win over Carthage. Reed Springs slips past Marshfield tonight by 3. Parkview is a touchdown better than Rolla. The Vikings getting their first win of the season tonight as well. Mountain Grove beats Ava tonight by a touchdown, and Mountain View Liberty is still unbeaten, 53-14 over Thayer. Bolivar goes up to Harrisonville. Big win over the 2nd-ranked Harrisonville team. Rafe Peavy, 3 throwing touchdowns and 1 rushing touchdown for the Liberators. McCauley beats Miller tonight by 10. Willow Springs over Kabul 31-12. Jasper takes care of Greenfield 26-12. And Seneca beats Aurora 49-10. And a quick look at some baseball action tonight. Seattle and St. Louis tied 1-1, bottom of the 10th inning. Pirates lost, so it's okay for the Cardinals there. And Kansas City loses to Detroit 6-3. That's the pennant races, and that's First and 10. Have a great weekend, everybody.